Hear me out before you castigate me. Sorry, I'm not impressed. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Yes, Arsenal beat Sporting. A win is a win. There's no such thing like a negative win. They got the advantage going into the second leg. But let's be honest, was that a commanding performance? Was that a convincing performance? No, no, no. Not even close. And I keep hearing pundits saying they got it over the line. The media saying Arsenal have done it again. And I wonder, are we watching the same Arsenal? Are we watching the same games? Because this team is struggling. And they've been struggling for a long time. A late win can mask imperfection, but it needs to be talked about. And this didn't just start yesterday. People forget that Arsenal's last win in the Premier League was against Everton. And it took an 89th-minute miracle for them to win that match. And I'm not against late wins. I'm not against slim margins. But the real question is, what were they doing before that moment? Were they creating chances before that moment? Or were they just hoping that something would happen for them in the match? Because there's a difference between being unlucky, trying, and being ineffective. Arsenal have been ineffective in offense. Before Everton, it was a 1-goal difference between them and Brighton. And that goal came because of a mistake by Brighton's goalie. There's nothing wrong with 1-goal wins. In that match against Brighton, Arsenal had only 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target in a whole 90 minutes. For an elite team, for a title-chasing team, for a team that wants to win trophies, that's poor. And it's not like it's happening in one match and not happening in another match. It keeps happening again and again. And the real danger is that they will be found out. It's not sustainable to keep playing that way. Look, Arsenal had this many times in the beginning of the season. In the first 4-5 months, where they won goals by 1-goal margin, where they had late wins, where they had 1-goal leads and they defended it. But you leave the match feeling pumped. You feel like Arsenal left everything on the pitch. They played very well. They created chances. They gave nothing away to the opponent. But in recent matches, in the last 3-4 months, since the beginning of the year, it's been tough. And we have to call it what it is. Offensively, Arsenal are poor right now. You can sugarcoat it. You can say they are getting it over the line, but it's not sustainable. They are poor right now. The build-up play, slow, sluggish, sideway passes, backward passes, recycling possession with no real intent. Saliba passes the ball to Gabriel to Rice to Bimendi, to Saka or to Martinelli, and they recycle it back, and then it goes to Odegaard sometimes, and then they recycle it back, bang, 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 bang. Nobody's running through the lines. Nobody's creating something intelligent. No decisive final pass. Nobody's consistently beating their man. Nobody's progressing the ball, maybe except that one sometimes. Arsenal's forward transitions are labored. They are slow. They are predictable. You see that one moment from Martinelli against Sporting. That space that Martinelli ran into, it has always been there. It was there from the beginning of the match, but nobody was taking advantage. So many opportunities. And that's not enough for a title-chasing team. A team that has title ambitions, they don't play that way. We saw it against Manchester City. We saw it against Southampton. This thing is not sustainable. You will be found out. And honestly, we almost saw it against Sporting. Sporting carried the greater threat in the match. Let's not lie about that. Let's not pretend like everything is all good. If not for David Raya, Arsenal could have lost that game easily. Imagine Kepa in goal. And it goes to something I've been saying on this channel. David Raya is one of the reasons why Arsenal are still alive in the Champions League, why they are still fighting for the Premier League. Because David Raya is a top goalkeeper. Not starting him in those two cup competitions cost Arsenal those matches. Because when your attack isn't clicking, your defense has to carry the team. And Raya isn't just a goalkeeper, he's your first line of attack. Remember that pass from Gabriel to Havertz that led to the goal that Arsenal scored against Southampton? That's your defense being your first line of attack. Because when Subimendi isn't influencing games, when Martinelli is not on point, isn't at his best, one accurate long ball from the goalkeeper, one big save, that's the difference. And here's the dangerous part. Sporting will believe that they could have gotten more from that match. And rightly so. They created the bigger chances. And they are right. And it's not just Sporting. It's many, many teams that have played Arsenal in recent times. Arsenal have made average performances look special. They've made them look fantastic. They even made this current Manchester City team look like a prime city. And that's a problem. I know it's been a long season. You can see it mentally and emotionally. Players are drained. The sharpness isn't there. The confidence isn't there. The aggression isn't there. And yes, injuries have played a part. But now they need something extra. They need a spark. And they need players coming back. Eze, Nkapie, Uren Timber, Odegaard. And not just back from injury. Back shooting. Back being sharp. Zubimendi. Trossard. They need to improve. And they have to play sharply. Because right now, this isn't working at all. There's no bite in Arsenal's attack. No arrogance about them. You see teams that win titles, there's a fearlessness about them. They get on the pitch and you know that they have come. As the season progresses, your weaknesses will get exposed. You are tired, you are weak. You cannot keep sitting deep, inviting pressure and expecting to survive. There's no way. You can't be sitting in low blocks. Top teams will punish you for that. And we already saw that against City in the cup final. And we almost saw it against Sporting. Let's not pretend like that wasn't the case. You watch teams like Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. You saw the way they play. Danger everywhere you look. Dangerous players. They are slick. They are clinical. They are fast. They are deceptive. If you invite pressure against those kind of teams, they will punish you. You're finished. And Arsenal are dangerously close to becoming that team that is being found out. What next? I don't think they will improve. Honestly, I don't think they will improve. It's very difficult for the eye to watch Arsenal. And yes, if they keep winning, people would say it's okay. They will accept it. But in these decisive moments, at the end of the season, this level of performance is not sustainable. Going forward, they need to change something. If you can't create clear-cut chances, if you can't create big chances, if you are slow in your forward transitions, if nobody is running through the line, nobody is progressing the ball forward, you get exposed because you are constantly trying to stay in your defensive shape. And opponents that are sharp, they will get you exposed. Many, many times it happened against Sporting. And if Sporting were clinical enough, then you could have seen it happen. And if not for Raya, you could have seen many goals go in. And the next test for Arsenal, Bournemouth in the EPL, is another big test. Because this is not one of those games that you take lightly. Bournemouth have been fantastic. The last team to beat Bournemouth in the league was Arsenal. 2-3 away from home. And since then, Bournemouth have gone 11 games unbeaten. 4 wins and 7 draws. And of those draws, they've had 3 nil draws. So this is not one team that goes away. They don't go away. They will sit in, they will stay compact, they will make you pass all around them all game long. And you just do it for 90 minutes and that's it. You draw points and there's pressure. You need that spark. Arsenal needs that spark. And we know that the Emirates crowd right now, they are nervous. And rightly so. You can feel it. If Bournemouth score first, the stadium goes cold. If they have big chances, the stadium goes cold. And suddenly, Arsenal don't look like a team that can respond. Arsenal don't need to do something crazy. They need to keep their defensive shape as much as they can. But they just need to up it a little bit. They need to raise it offensively. They need to be more clinical. There need to be a little more aggression, a little more urgency about what they are trying to do. There need to be those quick, slick passes. A little more belief that they can do it at the end of this season and get it over the line. Because right now, it's not enough. And let me just end with this. There's something that's not been said enough. William Saliba. The brilliance of that young man. I think we're just used to seeing the quality of defense that he brings to us now, week in, week out, that we forget that level of eliteness from William Saliba. That man is a wall. We see Virgil van Dijk, we see all sorts of other defenders playing in the Premier League week in, week out, in the Champions League. But William Saliba has been a rock for Arsenal, and I know he deserves a video on his own. But that's for another day. Arsenal need to get this one over the line. This is an Arsenal lover hoping that they will do what needs to be done. They will be clinical in attack. They will create chances. They will break through the lines and make things happen. Because all of these teams right now, everybody's fighting for something. Fighting for survival, fighting for points, and they will do whatever it takes. This is Chris Football. If you enjoyed this breakdown, if you agree or disagree, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, because I'll be bringing more football content to you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that Arsenal can get this one over the line. Peace out.